Thunder! 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 Thundercats! Ho!
Thundercats are wonderful. Thundercats are loose. Hear the roar. Thundercats are loose. Thunder, 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 Thundercats.
You cannot defeat me, for I am Mumm-Ra. And wherever evil exists, Mumm-Ra lives.
Hello, Bots and Books fans, this is Scorp1701, and tonight we are going to be continuing our look at the Super 7 Thundercats Wave 1 with Mumm-Ra. And I have this listed as the Decayed form, in which, you know, he will always say, ancient spirits of evil, transform this decayed form. So that's where I get Decayed form from. Now, I don't know if it's an official title, but that's what we're going with tonight. So, you may remember when we looked at Lino, it came in a brown cardboard mailer such as this, and you have Thundercats, and you have Mumm-Ra, and ages 14 plus, and Super 7, and there's really not much else on this until you get to the back. And on the back you have just a bunch of words and things: Warner Brothers, Super 7, barcode, and 14 plus. But anyway, that's not that important, and that's just the mailing box. What's really cool though is when we get to inside the mailer and you get this awesome box right here with this red foiled Mumm-Ra's double serpent snake symbol, and that is so awesome. And you have Thundercats here, Mumm-Ra, ages 14 plus, Super 7. Nothing on this side of the box. Nothing on this side of the box. On the bottom of the box, you just have some more credits and barcodes and Super 7. Pretty much what we got on the back of the brown cardboard box. And on the top you have Ultimates, because this is Ultimates Super 7 line. And on the back you have a huge Thundercats symbol, and I love it. I love the nostalgia of that particular symbol. It is just so great. Now, this again is a slipcover, and we still have some more unveiling of this package. Oh my goodness, I love these packages. All right, so what we'll do from here is just pull this up, and we will get our first look at the actual figure. And there Mumm-Ra is in his decayed form, the mummy Mumm-Ra. Yay! And as you can see, it is a huge open box, and you can see Mumm-Ra in there with all of his accessories. Huge Thundercats logo here, Mumm-Ra. And again, everything on the box we've already seen, except on the back of the box you have this awesome picture of a classic Thundercat artwork, and this is just so awesome. And apparently on the bottom we have a read-up of Mumm-Ra, so we'll zoom in down there, get it real close and focus in on it. Pause it to your heart's content and read it, but we must be moving on and out. Alrighty, so that is the box, and as beautiful as this thing is in the box, I don't want to see it in the box. I know you guys don't, so let's get it out and see what it can do. And here we have Mumm-Ra out of the box, and out of the box he stands at approximately 6 inches tall, and he comes with a ton of accessories that we'll take a closer look at later. But right now, a quick overview would indicate that he comes with an urn, he comes with the Book of Omens, he comes with the Rosencrest Medallion, he comes with the hilt of the Sword of Plundar, he comes with an alternate head, alternate hands, he comes with his staff, and he comes with a cloth good cape. And that's really neat. But again, like I said, we'll get to all of those a little later. Right now, I want to take a look at this guy himself. And taking a closer look at Mumm-Ra, bringing him real close to the camera. I really love this sculpt. He is very nicely done. Now, this is another reissue from the original Mattel line, And the original Mumm-Ra that they put out wasn't as blue as much as he was like a sickly pale greenish blue color. But I don't have a problem with this color. I think it's a really, really nice. And I mean, just this entire presentation of him and his bandages being everywhere is really, really nice. He has this nice red plastic cape on. It's really nicely done. And I wish though that the mold wasn't so rigid, because I think the best look for him is when the head is sunken back deeper into the hood, and you can have this sunk in look. Oh, and he can like walk around all hunched over, but because of the way it is, the hood wants to stick up. Maybe when we get to the cloth cape that will be different. But anyway, taking a closer look at Mumm-Ra, he has a nice bandaged head there. It's nice and blue, red eyes, some nice molded teeth, and his mouth and nose, lots of wrinkles in there. I really, really love the way this guy looks. And you can see the bandages come down from his side of his head here. And you open up the robe, the cape a little bit, and you can see nothing but bandages in there, and his hands sticking out, and some feet. This is pretty cool. But that's pretty much all he is bandaged mummy, arms, legs, a little bit of face. So that is pretty neat for what he looks like in that respect. But what we could do is move this hood back a little bit, which is no easy feat because it is molded, and we could take his head off, pop that off real good, and slide him out from underneath the cape, and we can get a real closer look at his mummy body. Put this head back on because that just looks weird without no head. Taking a look at him without his cape, again, there is just bandages and all sorts of neat stuff on this guy. You can see his hands, they're all creepy. And some more bandage wrap here, and on the back it just wraps out. It looks like it can almost you know, it comes up and sticks right here into his forearm. I don't know if that's a part that can come out. It feels like it's glued in there, so I don't want to pull it, but it's connected to it where it looks like he has some nice bandage wraps, like he comes after you, do the classic mummy thing. But yeah, that's cool. I really like that. Awesome. Look at this guy. So that is what he looks like. Moving on. And for articulation, starting at the head, his head can go all the way around 360 degrees. It can look up just a hair. It can look down a little bit. And you got some nice wiggly waggly. So that is pretty neat. His shoulder can come up and out. So that is nice. It technically can do a 360 degrees. However, because the bandage is attached to the forearm here, it can't go all the way around without getting itself tangled up, and that's kind of a bummer. It would have been neat if you could take this off, but this is in fact glued down, so it can't go anywhere, and that does hinder the articulation on both arms because it's over here too. So, but anyway, we'll have to make do. He does have an elbow bend. It's kind of hidden in here, but you can get it to go. And the elbow bend also doubles as a forearm rotation, so you can get that all the way around. But again, same problem. This kind of hinders you being able to get that 360 degrees. All right, coming down to the wrist. The wrist does go all the way around 360 degrees, and it bends in and out. because he has alternate hands. This is just on a hinge, and you could just pop that out, and we'll pop the other ones in a minute. Coming down, he has no ab crunch, so nothing there, but he does have a waist swivel, so you'll have to find it here. It's really nicely done. All of these hinges are kind of hidden into the bandages, so you don't really see that they're there, but they are there. So his waist swivel can go 360 degrees, and this is one that isn't actually hindered by the bandages, so just make sure they're not in the way, and then you can get them around. So that's pretty neat. And coming down to his legs can go up a little bit, but not too much, because like we said, bandages out to the side or back. Again, they have a little indentation here in the side. That is where you can get your movement from your legs, but it basically just goes up and down. There's no thigh swivel, but if you come down right above the knee, there is a knee joint, and it does bend, and it's just a single knee bend. Don't go too far with it, because you don't want to break that. It does seem kind of fragile. But also connected to this knee, like the elbow, is a swivel, so you can get that all the way around. So that's pretty neat. And coming down to his foot, it is on a hinge, so it can go down, and it can go up, and it can rock. So you got rock to the left, rock to the right, huge rocker. There's a little hole in there if you got a stand you want to put him on, and that's pretty much it for his articulation. Obviously, if you have the capes on, they're going to hinder that articulation more than it already is hindered by these glued on bandages. But hey, he's not supposed to be very articulate. He's an old mummy man. Oh, mummy man, no. Alright, moving on. Now, the first accessory we're going to take a look at is this cloth good cape and hood that he has. And because it is cloth good, you can get it to fold in on itself really nicely, and it just basically envelops this poor guy. And that's really how it's supposed to be. And you got his nice hood. It can actually go over, and he can sink his head as far as you want into it, because it's not a molded one single piece. It's very flexible, and you can cover the hood, the face. So yeah, that looks all right. Maybe a little mezco kind of look. I don't know, but it's okay. So that's pretty neat. And the cape itself is designed that all around the edges it has some wire, so you can actually get it to flay out in certain areas. So you can see, if you want to flay it all the way out, it has quite a large bit of circumference to it, to where, yeah, it can billow really far. So that's pretty neat. I'm sorry, Mumm-Ra. And yeah, it's neat. And if you like the cloth good capes on your figures, then that's good. I like this one. If I could figure out a way to get this to like sit further up on his head, I think I'll just use this in the display. But this isn't a bad thing either. And actually, since we're here and since we have this cape, we're going to jump to his second accessory. What we'll do is we'll take this off, which we've done earlier, and we will take a look at his alternate head. And we will stick this little guy on here, and he has the open mouth, and you can see that it's up there. It's like, ah, ah! So he's kind of an angry head. Ah! So if we get this hood back down, ah! So get his hat on, and then we could like flay out his arms, or get them out. Come on, go out. And then we get this cape going. So this is a neat little effect that you could do once you have the cape out. Ancient spirits of evil. Ah! So he's kind of angry. So, oh gosh, yeah. So there you go. There is your alternate yelling head. And so that is kind of cool. The mouth actually doesn't go up and down, in case some of you were wondering. So it's just open. Arr! And he's angry. And for the next accessory, we're going to take a look at his staff. And I, for the life of me, cannot recall him ever using this staff in the cartoon. I think this was a homage to the toy that came out. I remember you had to send out for him, I think. I can't exactly remember. I never had it when I was growing up, so I don't remember. I did know it existed. And, you know, basically this is just some creature with horns and a big, huge nose and some nice red teeth and eyes. Let's see if we can get close in on that. So yeah, that's about as close as we're gonna get, but that is awesome. I used to think that this was maybe one of the ancient spirits' head, but I don't think so. I think the one I'm thinking of was actually a bull, and I don't think this is the bull. But anyway, this is pretty nice staff, and we can zoom out, yeah, and we can see that in its full stature, it is about the same size as Mumm-Ra himself. So bring in Mumm-Ra, and so you can see, yeah, actually it is the same size. So it will help. It helps him walk, I guess. It is a nice malleable plastic. It's not too rigid, so it gives a little bit. Nothing. The horns don't move or anything, but you could just slide this in his hand, and he can hold it really well. Gets it in his hand. One of the bad things, another bad thing about this plastic cape is it kind of cuts off the ability to use his other hand. It's basically a one-handed cape. So, alright. So there, he's holding it. I have a stick. Come back here, you young whippersnapper. Alright, that's his staff. Moving on. Now, Mumm-Ra does come with two sets of hands, and the first set we have is these open clawing looking hands, and they are very scary looking. It's like, could be like trying to claw you, or you could be trying to cast spells, and those are really, really creepy. They're bony and they're sharp, so I don't know. I always thought Mumm-Ra was a very scary villain, comparatively to the other villains that I saw on television when I was a kid. So yeah, those are the creepy claw hands. And Mumm-Ra has these nice little weapon holding hands, so you could just slide things in there. So those are the other set of hands he has. Now, they had one of each of the hands attached out of the box. So these last two reviews were what they look like both together. So anyway, moving on. And here we have the Rosencrest Medallion. And this is a medallion that came from the episode called Zack's Factor. And what this was is a medallion that has the spirit of one of Mumm-Ra's ancient enemies named Zax in it. And Mumm-Ra trapped his spirit into this medallion, and whoever wore this medallion, Zax, would begin to possess them until, if they didn't take it off, he would take over their body. So his spirit's in there, and I think Snarf got it, and Vulture Man and such. So it was kind of an interesting little episode. It's almost like the last episode of the series. I think it was the third to last episode. I think there was two more after it, but anyway. So yeah, he's not going to wear this, and he has it hidden in his sarcophagus for all eternity, so Zax, his immortal enemy, cannot escape. So it's pretty neat. It's blue, and it's got some black in there, some nice silver details here, and brown at the top. But if you want to put it on a character, you can. You'll just pop their head off and then stick it on there. So that is the Rosencrest Medallion. Alright, moving on. And next accessory, we have the hilt of the Sword of Plunder, and this is very nicely done for just a hilt, I guess. You can see it's gold, and it has like 4 snakes intertwined. So the snakes are really nicely done. You can see their eyes on there. Not too sure I wouldn't want the eyes to be painted red, but that's alright. Beggars can't be choosers, and basically you take this and it is just a hilt. I think the sword itself will be coming with full version Mumm-Ra, but anyway, take Mumm-Ra and he can hold it just fine by putting it in his hand. So let's see here, just open up the hand and slide it in. Come on, Mumm-Ra. Hold your Sword of Plunder. There it is. I have the Sword of Plunder. Because you have to have something that would equal the Sword of Omens. But anyway, that's him. That's him holding it. It's okay. Really, it's not that great without the blade. But you kind of get the idea. Sort of like the dagger version of the Sword of Omens. Alright. Moving on. And the next accessory we're going to take a look at is this nicely done urn. I mean, they put a lot of detail into this thing, and I can tell you, this urn was only on screen for like 5 seconds. This was a urn containing Thundercats, and Mumm-Ra called to the ancient spirits of evil to give him something to defeat the Thundercats. They brought forth this urn. He threw it into his cauldron, and the berserkers, the pirate guys, came in and bathed in it and got their armor all covered in Thundercats, and they were able to go and fight the Thundercats. But again, it's a lot of great detail for such an obscure little object. So let's see if I can get closer. Yeah, that's really, really nice. You can see the different colors, and you can see the designs. There's circular designs here on the base. It's purple, orange, gold, more red up here. I mean, this is really nicely done item, again, for just not being an item worth that much. And yes, Mumm-Ra can hold it just fine. Moving on. And the last of Mumm-Ra's accessories is the Book of Omens, and you can see it's done in a nice brown. You have the Thundercats logo right here. A lot of different little squares, and you can see some binder action going on the side. It's done in a gray, and back of the book has a little latch because you know they had to be able to get the use the sword to open the book, or if you mess around with these little numbers, it will open up and reveal a keyhole, and you'd need the key of Thundera to open it. So anyway, the pages on this particular one are a darker color. Looks kind of bluish gray to me. So it's kind of a dark version. Now, this is the exact same mold as this book of Omens, and this is the Book of Omens that we saw last time, and it came with Lion-O. So I don't know why they're different colors. Maybe because it was dark in Mumm-Ra's pyramid. I think he stole the book. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, these are exactly the same book, just different colors. So yeah. Anyway, take a look at that. Pages. The Book of Omens. Alright. Moving on. And for comparison, here he is with Lion-O. And as you can see at this stage in Mumm-Ra's evolution, he doesn't really pose much of a threat to the Lord of the Thundercats. But as we all know, that is going to change. Moving on. And this has been the Super 7 Thundercats Ultimates line, Mumm-Ra, what I would affectionately call as the Decayed form. And this little guy is simple. He is little lackluster on articulation because of the hindrance of the bandages, but Accessory wise, he comes with a slew of them, anything you want, a lot of options when it comes to playability with his cloth good cape and alternate hands, alternate head, and just basically anything you could want from a mummy Mumm-Ra. So I love it, I recommend it. I can't wait to review more of these guys. Super 7 is just awesome. And if you look at the Super 7 series, they're doing He-Man. They've just released a Castle, they've done a Castle Grayskull, a Snake Mountain. That thing is huge. And if they do that, then you gotta know they're gonna be planning a cat's lair, a tomb room, or sarcophagus room, or whatever the room was that he had his thing in. And oh my gosh, I can't wait. There is so many good possibilities out there for this line, and they just keep coming. New pre-orders for wave 4 have hit like last month, and I look forward to doing the next one. All right guys, that's the review. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, keep playing.